What if everything around us, the water in our glass, the tree outside our window, the stone under our feet, is aware? Not metaphorically, actually conscious. Simply speaking, a language our ears were not built to hear. This isn't a new idea. It's a very old one. An entire civilization once built their whole existence around it. Once upon a time, there was a civilization on Earth, much more developed than we are today, in so many ways. We call it Lemuria. And Lemuria is returning as we speak. It returns through our memories, through us remembering what Lemuria was, what its lore held, what were the principles that society operated on. As we remember this, we begin rebuilding our world back into existence, right here on this Earth. There's been a lot of talk about New Earth lately, about split timelines, about a civilization rising into higher vibration, into health, into consciousness. But so much of what's said about New Earth is vague. It sounds as though it will simply happen, that if enough of us raise our frequency, a better world descends on its own. But we are not passengers in this unfolding. We are humans. We don't live by instinct alone. We think, we choose, we build. And if New Earth is real, it isn't something we wait for. It's something we construct consciously, together, by the blueprint for the world we're being called to build. Here are 7 principles of Lemurian lore for us to remember and use in that great work. Universal awareness. The first principle is this. All life is aware and communicating with us. Water is aware. Trees are aware. Stone, sun, stars. Everything carries consciousness. It simply moves differently than ours. They do not speak in the frequencies our ears can register. Their language sits outside our audible band. But when we grow quiet enough, when we come close to a tree, an animal, a stone, we can communicate with them efficiently, realistically. Because everything perceives, everything feels in its own way. In the world we live in now, we take life around us for granted. We stop noticing trees, water, they become background, a just environment. Lemurian lore asks us to learn again to communicate on that deeper level with everything around us. Symbiosis. In Lemuria, everything existed for the benefit of the individual and the greater good. Never one at the expense of the other. Trees, animals, rocks, minerals, air, these were never resources to extract. We were in respectful relationships. Lemurians lived in constant awareness that they were part of their environment, not separate from it, and that however they treated that environment, it would treat them the same way in return. The original people of Australia say it in a single sentence. If you love country, the country will love you back. This is symbiosis, active exchange, not extraction. Just as we breathe with the tree gives us oxygen. We give it back carbon dioxide. A perfect, living exchange. Lighter density, mind a stabilizer. The third is density, or rather, the lack of it. Lemuria existed in a lighter state than we do now. More light moved through matter, through bodies, through everything that seems solid around us. That made reality itself more fluid, more pulsing, more alive. But the beings who lived there were skilled at something we've largely forgotten: how to keep that lighter vibration stable. Lighter fields are more changeable, and stability in that fluidity is the real skill. As we move back into lighter density ourselves, this is the knowledge we need to remember: how to work with these fields, how to stabilize them, and how to stabilize ourselves in this ever-changing, challenging, loud world. Because these fields are a reflection of our own minds. Master a stable mind and reality follows. But stability doesn't mean rigidity. We don't want to become too firm, too fixed. We're looking for the line between stability and fluidity. That line is balance, love and care. The fourth principle is love and care, for everything and everyone. Every member of Lemurian community carried a deeply embedded sense of care and mutual nurturing, for themselves, for each other, for nature, for existence itself. So different from what we experience today, where so much runs on extraction and use of other for only our benefit and comfort. Because of their psychic sensitivity, they could recognize each other's motives and intentions without words. They were skilled observers. And out of that came something rare: trust. Far more trust in life and in each other than we carry today. And because of that trust, collaboration ran efficient at every level of life. Every action was win-win, chosen so both the individual and the whole community benefited, never one at the expense of the other. Every being was encouraged to develop their deepest talents and their mission. They believed in a divine order, that every person born into their society brought something of benefit to themselves and to the greater good. And they cherished existence itself deeply. They were capable of simply enjoying the delightfulness of being. For them, celebration, inner and outer, came from the simple fact that they were and from who they were. Co-creators and ancient architects. The fifth principle. Lemurians understood what we today call quantum physics, quantum entanglement, not as theory, but as the basic fabric of their reality. They knew they were creators and co-creators. That understanding took physical form in sacred and divine architecture, principles that apply everywhere, visible and invisible. In classical buildings, in gardens, in the way society itself was built, in relationships, in everything, all of it based on sacred geometry, harmonious shapes and ratios. They studied it, they were deeply committed to it, and they understood something crucial. If you do not actively participate in caring for your reality, starting at the source where ideas are born, all the way through to the reality you live within. If you don't maintain that, you don't keep creating with your thoughts, stories, song, art, relationships and actions, you don't remain sovereign. You become a player in someone else's creation. This, I believe, is what so many of us experience today. A sense that reality doesn't align with our needs, our inner ethics. Something feels off. Because we've been playing roles inside a reality authored by someone who does not operate on Lemurian principles, someone who turns things toward their own benefit rather than the greater good. As we remember and practice our creative capacities, as we understand that creation begins long before it becomes visible, that we nourish an idea, build it in imagination first, master it, polish it, and only then take accurate action to bring it into form, we become, again, rightful owners of our realities and the environments we live in. Fine, energetic bodies. The sixth is psychic ability, a different sense entirely. Lemurians could sense things before they happened. Their bodies were finer because their whole existence was lighter, made of finer fiber. And here is the important part. We still are. Our energetic bodies are still fine. Our torus fields are still delicate and sensitive. The way we connect with people, with our environment, with everything, our communication pathways are still very active. We are simply not aware of it. And because we're not aware, we don't know how to care for these capacities, how to use them. The first step towards remembering is to turn our inner and outer noise down. Times are changing. New knowledge, new schools are emerging as we remember that finer expression of our existence, retreat and silence. The seventh is the importance of retreat and silence. Lemurians spent extended periods of time alone, in silence, connecting with the deepest, oldest part of the being, to recalibrate, to find new directions while staying true to themselves. They were deeply aware of their ongoing, limitless existence, aware that they were souls on an ongoing journey we call life. They knew their past life existences, and because of that, they were capable of planning their future existences too. They were not simply at the mercy of birth and reincarnation the way so many of us feel on Earth today. They could see the broader picture, beyond active memory. This made them engage co-creators of their incarnated experience, rather than simply following the instructions of so-called more developed beings on the other side. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know. I'm not saying something new. I'm just a messenger. bringing remembrance, as this is an essential part of our being. So here we are, this point in time, this space, remembering all of this, so we can recreate what we once had. Let's refurbish those fine fabrics. Let's remember who we are and what we're capable of. And turn this reality around, back to natural order.